Memphis Success, episode 21 with Dana James Mwangi of Cheers Creative.
Time-based pricing does not accurately compensate you. And what you want to do is start to switch over to value-based pricing.
Want to be successful in business? Listen to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Be prepared to be challenged and inspired to dream big and take immediate action now.
Memphis Go-Getters, welcome to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs, where your success is Memphis Success. Hello, I'm your host, Darnell Reed, and I interview local entrepreneurs right here in the Mid-South to share their story and to inspire you. Now, today I have Miss Dana James Mwangi. She is the owner of Cheers Creative. Now, guys, Cheers Creative develops brand strategy, brand identity design, and websites for industry thought leaders, creative professionals, conferences and seminars, and art and entertainment platforms. Now, some of her clients have included international award-winning chocolatier Philip Ashley Ricks of Philip Ashley Chocolates, as well as Andrew Davis, CEO of Monumental Shift, and he's one of Inc. magazine's top 16 entrepreneurs to watch in 2016, as well as Brandis Daniel, one of Centric TV's Women to Watch in 2016, and CEO of Harlem's Fashion Row. Now, guys, she's been featured everywhere. She's been referenced on Forbes.com in the article featuring tips for better logo designs. Yeah, that magazine. She's been featured on firstwebdesigner.com, an online community of web professionals with over 200,000 followers. Also, guys, she has been officially endorsed as a customization partner with the X theme, one of the top fastest selling WordPress themes of 2015. So, guys, as you can see, she knows what she's doing in her business. So, look, guys, I'm so excited to have Miss Mwangi on our show today. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Darnell. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, hey, I'm just so thrilled to have you on the show. I've definitely seen some of your works. That's how I found out about you. And I said, hey, I got to have her on the show because I know she has definitely tons of wisdom and knowledge and experience going down this entrepreneurial road that she can definitely share with the Memphis Go-Getters. So look, I know you are a Memphian, and I always like to start our show off with this one simple question. So what first comes to your mind when you just think about the city of Memphis and entrepreneurship?
When I think about Memphis and entrepreneurs here, the phrase comes to mind, hidden gems, really. And what I mean by that is, there's an uprising of this young, artistic, cultural, entrepreneur class of people. They're blogging, they're creating content, they have brick and mortar businesses, they're doing community-based projects. They're infusing new life into Memphis, in my opinion. I'm peers with a lot of these individuals. Some of these individuals have been my clients, and it just seems like, they just need a boost. They need more visibility, and we need more of a sense of community. And to be honest with you, anything that you need, really, you can get it right here in Memphis. You can get top notch, right. Whatever it is you're looking for right here in Memphis. We just need that visibility increased.
I know my pastor said all the gifts are in the house.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I truly agree with you. There's tons of hidden gems right here in Memphis. I mean, if you're looking for something, I'm pretty sure you can find somebody top notch right here in the Mid-South that is doing it. And hey, as you said, hidden gems, I believe you're one of those hidden gems, and that's why I have you on the show. So look, I know I just gave a brief introduction introduction about you, but when you're out networking and someone asks you, what do you do? How do you normally explain it to them?
So, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. We create strategies, we do branding consultations, and what I like to call is brand management or brand protection. Like, we like to give people a cohesive visual brand system so that they can be easily recognized and they can have something that that really speaks to customers. So we don't like to do piecemeal work, if you will,
right.
Like the whole shebang from web design to social design to print design, and how all of those things work together. And almost create like a brand Bible for you so that nobody, mess with the aesthetics of your brand. All of that is very important. And so we do that for, industry professionals, people that are like at the top of their field. And we do it for, large galas and conferences and, arts platforms, entertainment platforms. We find that those particular audiences kind of need the same things.
Okay.
So, it just ended up working out.
Cool. So, look, I know it's not Thursday, but I'd like to go do a throwback. A throwback. So, everybody has an origin, a story. I know you're from Memphis, went to Wooddale, went to the University of Memphis. But if you can, just take us back to that time when you really decided to just take that leap of faith to become an entrepreneur, and what was really going on in your life.
I have to really sit and think, because it's been a long journey. I'm trying to think, where did it all start? When I was in college, I was a single mother, and at the time, I just wanted to be able to, get out of school and get a good solid, job at a great company and have security and be able to take care of, my son and take care of myself. I think the seed was planted for this entrepreneurial bug. When I was in school, I had to sit out a semester because I had my son. I said, well, wait a minute, I can do freelance. And that way I can keep my skills sharp while I'm sitting out. So, time don't have to pass me by. My skills don't have to get rusty. And that's exactly what happened. I did freelance and I started filling my portfolio up with real world work, and that put me at the top of my class, and it helped me get jobs quickly when I got out of school because I had this real world work in my portfolio. Then on top of that, going to U of M, which was one of the best things for me. I did really well at that school, and I felt like I really learned some fundamentals there. And my first job I got because I came from U of M. They knew I was going to know my stuff, know. Graduated and, did the corporate America thing,
If you don't mind, let me just jump in there because I think I don't want the Memphis Go-Getters listeners not to miss this valid point that you just made from your experience. You were talking about you as a single mother, and as I mentioned before, we just having our child, and I can just only imagine just the workload of school and just having a child, but you still had that fortitude to really go out there and start freelancing. And I just wanted our listeners to know, like, hey, you can still get started, and freelancing is definitely an option to get your business started. So can you just touch back on just what made you just have that and just to go out there and start doing that?
Yeah, I did that. I think, doing that freelance, I think my first client was a person, they had a cleaning agency, but by judging by the business card, you couldn't tell that's what they did. It was junky. The colors was like brown. I was like, you got a cleaning company, that's sense to me because I was trained to view things that way,
Right.
And so, and I remember that was my first job, little business card, and I cleaned it up. It was all crisp and white and blue, and the fonts were clean. And that business owner looked at me. She said, "Is this me? This is my business?" I said, "Yes, this is you, and this is the way you should be perceived." I was probably 21, 22 or something like that, and that's when I realized the power I had as a designer. To help the business owner to see the way their business should be perceived, and also helped the audience, the intended audience, see them properly and help them close deals and, increase their bottom line and all that other stuff. So that was the bug, and I kept going out. It was hard sometimes. I was going to school. Sometimes I had to take my son with me. Sometimes he was in class with me while I was presenting projects. It wasn't easy, but I just had this burning desire. Really started out I just wanted to make sure I could be self-sufficient, and again work and get a good quote unquote secure job, right?
So tell us more about that. You were saying, after you graduated from U of M with your degree, and you started to work in corporate America. I guess just tell us a little bit about that, and then how you were able to just transition from there into starting your business.
So I played the corporate game for a while. I've done print design and direct mail, design for financial institutions. So, SunTrust, Wells Fargo, Discover Card. I've designed checkbooks. I've designed the things you get in the mail that look like a letter, and you open it and it's like, hey,
right,
open up a checking account with us.
So that was you, right?
Guys, that was me, and I apologize. But yeah, I did that, and then I did package design for many, many years, which was really cool. And doing that, I was doing package design for a company that created housewares items, things that help you organize your home, baskets, hangers, hampers, shoe organizers, anything you can think of that will help you organize your home, you name it. And 9 times out of 10, you probably have something in your household that I designed the packaging for.
Oh, okay, wow.
Because, they created these items, and then they would sell them in Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, CVS, the Container Store, and everywhere. And it would be.
Was that a company here in Memphis?
It's in South Haven.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. In South Haven, and they create a lot of houseware items that's on the I haven't been there in years, but I have things on the shelves right now that were
so
created.
Do you ever walk in the store like, hey, I did that right there?
Like with my son, I'd be like, oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was cool, I was like, wow, because honestly, when I had a little job when I was in college working at Target, and that was before, I had my son, and I was like, I like this user experience here at Target. I like the posters, and Target just makes you want to shop.
Right.
I didn't realize at the time that graphic designers had a hand in that, in creating the experience design of Target, if you will, and even the posters and the seasonal stuff they have, the packaging. So I was attracted to it then. So then to turn around and have a job where I'm indirectly designing stuff for Target.
Wow.
That was blowing my mind.
But tell me this. So at what point in time you said, you know what, I'm done playing this corporate game and I'm ready to get out here on my own?
I was ready to go. What made me ready was the fact that, my son at this point is in grade school, and he's gone from me 12, 13 hours a day. And while that's the norm, I didn't like the way that felt. Okay. And I felt like, I didn't know what was going on with my son. I felt like other people were raising him, I just didn't like the way that felt, and then on the other side, what I noticed in general was that employers seem to value consultants more than they value their employees.
Right. That's crazy.
And, it seems like, a consultant will come in and get paid to do one job that's 10 times your paycheck, and you're doing 20 things or whatever and getting paid for them, on a salary, fixed income. So I was like, I need to get on the other side. So I started to read some books, listen to some podcasts. I started really cutting down on that entertainment and all that other stuff. And I just started to educate myself on entrepreneurship and freelancing and how to run a design business. I did the best I could in preparing, but nothing can fully prepare you for a life-changing event.
So I do want to know that, because I know we may have some Memphis go-getters right now working in corporate America, but have that desire to really step out there. And so any just words of advice that maybe you can share how you did it?
Number one, all I'm going to say, it's a very scary experience. It can be scary, because, we're taught that 9 to 5, a secure job, all that, is equal to security. But, learning and reading and listening to people who have, passive income streams and this and that showed me what the real world looks like right now, not necessarily what the answer would have been for us in the 70s or the 80s. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, listen to people that know what they're talking about. Number one, listen to people that have walked where you want to go, and get a strong support system a strong network of people of like minds. You know, you're going to get a lot of opinions and this, and that, but listen to people who've already been there. You know, people really mean well, you know, but talk to someone who can really help you. I would also tell people, try to set up some residual income stream before you leave your job.
Yes.
Try
see if that thing's gonna work first.
Yeah, do something like that, you know, and have that coming in. You know, I could go on and
Right.
you know, on and on and on.
But no, I think those are definitely some valuable words of wisdom and advice, you know, especially from someone who's done it and been there. And, you know, I wholeheartedly agree with, you know, a lot of times people have good intentions, but if they have never done it, I think at least for me, it's hard to fully, you know, hear what they got to say.
Absolutely. And, you know, the thing is, I mean, when you tell somebody you're going to, you know, quit your job, you know, people are going to be genuinely concerned for you and your well-being. And don't, you know, like in my case, I had a child, so people were like, oh, you know, I think I kept mine secret for a while until, you know, until I left, because I just need to make sure that you know, the decisions I was making was based on the things I was reading and, you know, not necessarily some fear-based comments that other people, you know, may have been making, you know.
Right. Yeah. So one thing for me, Memphis Go-Getters, is, you know, for me, I've always realized, look, these people may not be reading what I'm reading, or they may not be talking to the people I'm talking. And so we all will have different perspectives. So, you know, I think, yeah, they're definitely coming from a place of sincerity. But you always got to remember you got somewhere you need to get to. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with that being said, you know, we don't want to always make entrepreneurship just sound so rosy.
Oh.
And so, you know, a lot of times as business owners, we get started and we're faced with a lot of challenges. So can you just tell me any of your biggest challenges or disappointments, and, you know, how were you able to overcome and bounce back from it?
In the beginning, in the beginning when I first started, you know, I had a good rhythm going of, you know, getting clients and work and stuff. And, you know, in the beginning, it was just me, you know, one woman show. You can only go so far being a one person show. And you're going to hit a wall, and and it's going to be hard to get over, or it could be impossible because you're only one person. And I think that was my mistake, trying to do a lot of that myself and not reaching out for help when I needed it. I think, you know, enough anxiety and stress, you know, was enough to get me out of that. You know, you got all this work coming, and you have to set aside time to market. You can't just keep working. You know, when you're the boss, you are the accounting department, you are the bookkeeping department, you are the project manager, you are HR, you're the bill collector. You have to get into that gear.
Right.
You know, and if you can't, you know, take those tasks and, you know, hire somebody or outsource or go on Odesk or get your virtual assistant, you know, do things like that to make your load easier, and try to automate as much of your workflow as humanly possible so that you can get back to doing what you do best.
Yes. I mean, there's definitely some awesome points there, especially I love the point where you just talk about automating as well as outsourcing. I know personally that's just been one of my challenges. I know a lot of times you think like, man, I can do that. Yeah. But one thing I've learned is that you got to value your time. You got to put a price to your time. And if you can hire somebody to do that for maybe, you know, $8 or $9, then that's one of the things that you may need to do.
It's worth your time. You know, I was reading a book on the habits of the rich. And I think it might have been The Millionaire Mind. And it was saying that one habit is, you know, even if they can do something else themselves, like maybe reupholster furniture or something, they'll get somebody else to do it. Right. Because, you know, you can't get that time back, you know, and while you're sitting here, you know, sewing something, and that's not even what you're supposed to be doing. You could have been closing a sale. Right. You know? So, you know, your time is what's important. You don't want to be time broke.
Time broke. Wow. That's a new one for me. I'm going to have to definitely write that one down. Don't be time broke. I love it. So look, I call this our big shift moment in our business. So just take us to that moment in time when you had experienced or learned something new that just really helped shift your business to another level.
I can say without a doubt, value-based pricing.
Okay. Can you break that down for us?
I sure can. So, most of us are taught, that you should get paid for your time. Okay. And most of us, especially creative professionals, we try to have an hourly rate. A lot of times we're asked for a rate sheet and things like that. And here's the problem with that. Time-based pricing does not accurately compensate you. And what you want to do is start to switch over to value-based pricing. If you can prove that what you offer increases your client's bottom line, which also means you need to also take clients that you can get really great results out of, like if you can, I put it like this. If a client is trying to generate $200,000 in revenue from their website, 20,000 is a drop in the bucket to pay for that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You're paying for your, get paid for your results. So I don't think that time-based pricing is even fair. I'll give you a scenario. So a few years ago, or maybe when I was in college or just got out, it might have taken me 40 hours to create a logo. Okay. Do I punish my client for making them pay for 40 hours of my time because it's taking me 40 hours to create a logo? Fast forward to now. It may take me 5 minutes to do a logo. Do I charge you for point whatever of an hour? Should I punish myself? Because here's the deal. It doesn't matter how long it takes me to do the logo. I'm getting you results. And then on top of that, there's research that's been done before I started on that design. You see what I'm saying? Right. Also, do I charge for when I wake up out of my sleep thinking about your project? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Time-based pricing is not even fair. It's not fair to either party. But results-based pricing, I think that's the way to go.
I totally agree with that. I know. I guess what's the saying? You paying for the knowledge.
You're paying for the knowledge.
You're paying for the speed.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely the experience. So yeah, definitely. I truly believe in that value base versus, hourly or at a rate, an hourly rate type of service. So no, I wholeheartedly agree. So you shifted to that value base, and I'm assuming that just helped negotiations as well as just taking your business to another level.
It changed the way it changed the way I marketed myself. It changed, my goals. Cause again, that changes the type of client that you want to go after. Are you going to go after someone who's not serious and saying, hey, I just need a business card?
They're going to nickel and dime you every time.
Yeah. And there's those people that nickel and dime you to death. People that have, what did my friend say? $500, but $2,000 worth of questions, So yeah, value-based pricing is the way that a service professional, a consultant, a coach, an expert, that's the way they should go.
So Memphis Go-Getters, please heed her advice right there. That is so valuable and so true that you need to shift your mindset. Just think about all the work that it takes into doing whatever you're doing and the results that you give them. Move from an hourly basis and just think more from a value basis that you're giving to that client. And it definitely will help you boost the revenue that you have in your business. So look, Dan, I know you have so much going on right now in your business, but today, what's that one thing that you're most excited about in your business?
Oh boy. I think what I'm excited about the most, again, is I'm seeing the results of our work for the clients. Whether it's, they're getting more email signups, they're getting more visibility, or they're just landing deals simply because how, their brand visuals look. I'm excited about, again, I said I used to work by myself. I have a partner I have, a few photographers that I work with. I have a couple of graphic designers, have a PR consulting agency that, we all collaborate on projects sometimes. And I think I'm excited about the results, and I think I'm excited about the team that has been created.
Yeah, that's so valuable right there. So there's two things that I definitely want to hit on just to get a little more background and understanding on it. So you had mentioned you started off on your own, founding your business, and then it sounds like you brought on a partner. And I know I got 3 partners, and went about really making sure I found the right partners for my business. So I'm just curious, how did you go about finding your partner, and just what advice would you share with the Memphis Go-Getters on making sure that you selected, the right partner to be with?
I have been approached a few times, for not necessarily for anybody to join Cheers, but to partner, on projects with, other designers. Some went great. And, some didn't, that's not anything personal. You have to get out there and see who you have great creative energy with. Right. Now, in my case, again, in the beginning, I was putting out all this stuff, working and stuff, but I had no time, and I was drowning. But it was very difficult for me to ask for help, because one thing about a partner, that's also automatic accountability. And they're going to be looking at your stuff. You know what I mean? Right. And so you now have to start thinking for other people outside of yourself and your family and all that. I have a friend named Esso Tolson, and he was doing freelance by himself for years. And I don't know if we met. I think we met somewhere, and then, we got familiar with each other's work, and we started following each other online. This was like years ago. And he had a certain style that was different from mine. Like mine is, my stuff is kind of corporate and, simple and streamlined. His has this very, like this hand-drawn, handcrafted, organic feel. And I was like, our skills together, that would be like the perfect designer. Right. And I was like, man, that'd be great for us to work together. And things worked out. I think, what was it, about 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, we started taking, you know what? I know what it was. There was someone that was looking for a designer, and we both had interviews with the same prospect that same day. And we found out, right. And we got on the phone. It was like, hey, why don't we just do this together? In that way we can give them everything. So that was the beginning of us working together. And also we became great friends. And then, Esso saw what I was doing, and he told me, he said, listen, this is great what you're doing. I want to come aboard. I was like, okay. So we kept working on some projects and kind of did a trial thing, for like about 8 months. Okay. And then this March we went ahead and announced our partnership. But before that, we totally restructured the business. Okay. We did a lot of that hard work, that nobody sees, redefining our audience, who we are, our services, how we offer those services. Cause it's one thing to be able to do something, but to be able to offer it seamlessly, that's a whole different ball game. Right. So again, but that's what a partner can come do. Cause you've been doing something for so long, you can become blind to a few things. And so, a partner will help you, see some stuff that you may have overlooked before. And it's I don't think that things automatically become easier because you have a partner, but you have a more well-rounded view. Right. You have a more well-rounded view. And, we've created some great work together. And I really couldn't be happier.
Well, hey, that's awesome. I definitely believe as an entrepreneur, especially those who are solo, it gets a little lonely. When you by yourself and having to make all of the decisions. But when you have partners and each one of you guys complement each other and can support each other, it definitely helps, you to achieve the vision that you have. So, what's the saying? 2 brains are better than one. So
absolutely. If you go to Founders and Funders, or is it Funders and Founders? com. It's nothing but a website full of infographics on how these huge brands got started, like Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Yahoo. And it seems like after the founder found a partner, it didn't take them long to find funding after that.
So, wow. Well, so thank you for just sharing that information. So look, I call this our lightning round of questions. And so you can answer these as briefly as you would like. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay. So was there anything holding you back from becoming an entrepreneur?
Fear. I think fear, you always have that. Mm-hmm.
Just the financial aspects of it, or just the success?
Fear of finances, fear of will I be secure? Will I be secure? Is my child gonna eat? Fear of success. And if this goes well, will I be able to operate at this same capacity over and over again? You know?
Okay. So I gotta ask. Well, I guess that's what we talked about earlier, just how you were able to overcome that. So, what is the best advice you have ever received?
What is the best advice I've ever received? Know who you are. I think that's the best advice I received. Be an expert. Don't be a technician.
Okay.
That helped me.
Well, awesome. Now look, what do you read, watch, or listen to that keeps you inspired and motivated?
What do I watch? There's so many. Oh boy, where do I start? Let's see. So when I was talking about value-based pricing, that was a free book by the founder of FreshBooks, the accounting system. Mike McDermott. He was talking about breaking the time barrier. And so that's a book that helped me change my mind about pricing and how to present myself. I listened to Sean McCabe has a lot of great advice for creative, professionals. And he was a hand letterer, and his first course, after giving out years of free content, I think he made like $80,000 in 2 days on his first lettering course. And so now he just puts out a lot of materials to help with the business side of creativity. Okay.
Is he like a graphic designer? Or?
Well, he's a graphic designer, hand letterer, Sean McCabe.
Okay. So Memphis Go Getters, you can visit memphissuccess.com and look for Dana Mwangi, and I will have the show notes where you'll be able to get all of the information that she shares during our lightning round. So definitely there's some great information there. So now I know we're in the age of technology. Is there any certain online website or application within your iPhone or Android, tool that you use to help you be more productive?
There's a lot of project management tools out there. I particularly like Podio.
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 Okay.
Podio.com, and you can manage your projects and invite your clients into it. You can invite team members into it. You can manage your leads. You can manage pretty much almost every aspect of your business, and you can even create apps to help you extend the functionality of Podio. And there's a great deal of functions and features you get just on the free version. So it's something really good to look at. And then there's Google Docs is great. All Google Sheets, Google Docs, all of that I think helps with collaboration as far as getting content and working on something at the same time. Okay. So those are probably one of the top two tools I think.
Okay, awesome. That's definitely, I never heard of Podio, so definitely I would check it out. Now, I know you just mentioned a book earlier, but is there a book that you would recommend our listeners to check out?
I would there's so many. It's hard. I would recommend just one. Okay.
Well, you can do more than one.
Okay. I would recommend Brandscaping by our client Andrew Davis. Okay. Andrew Davis is one of the top 2 marketers in the world. according to, is it the International Content Marketing Network? Or I'm going to have to find that website. But he has done stuff for Fortune 500 companies. He does 50 keynote presentations a year on marketing. And he's just a really great person. He has this book called Brandscaping. And what it does is get you to, from the jump, think about setting your brand up in a way where you can partner with other brands who have the audience that you're trying to go after. So it makes you think of partnerships in a whole nother way. And he gives plenty of examples on how to brandscape your business using, real life examples. It's a very meaty book. I almost feel like it could have been a course.
Wow.
Or something. It's just chock full of just really good stuff that you can actually use. Not one of those philosophy type of books that don't give you any type of takeaways,
Okay, so Brandscaping, and once again, who is that by?
Andrew Davis.
Andrew Davis. Okay. And then also, definitely I'm going to check out that book. I definitely believe, definitely how you can leverage or partner with other brands and people and kind of commingle audiences to still give them value. So what is one of your favorite success quotes or mantras that you may live by?
Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh. I mean, you see it floating around the internet all the time. What is it? Everything you want is outside of your comfort zone, or, success is outside of your comfort zone. And that's just true. If you're comfortable, more than likely you're not doing something new. More than likely you're not challenging yourself. I think this walk of entrepreneurship, it can have, you could be up one day, down one day, because, it seems like everything's going great one day. Then the next day you're like, oh my God, I made a big mistake. Oh my God, but overall, if you are doing something that's innovative and new, I think that there should be a little bit of unknown,
right,
in your life. And to me, that's a good indicator that you're going in the right direction. You shouldn't always feel like 100% you know what the heck you're doing, because that means you're not growing. And the people who are doing really great, legendary, innovative work have no idea what they're doing. They just may be a little further ahead than others.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I totally agree. I believe you definitely need to push outside of your comfort zone, and actually you need to move towards your fears. That's one big thing for me. If I start to fear something, obviously nothing life and death, right?
Yeah.
but
you waste a lot of time trying to get rid of that fear. The truth is, and what did that lady say from Eat, Pray, Love? I watched her give a talk, and she said, you know what? People that don't have fear, you might need to watch out for them, because it's human nature. What you can do is say, hey, fear, you can ride in the car with me, but you can't make any decisions.
Wow.
And so, instead of trying to get rid of this fear, and my partner Esso told me, you can't have bravery without fear, because you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
If you're scared and you do it anyway, that's bravery. That's courage.
Right.
So just don't worry about trying to get to where you're going. And after a while, you might not be fearful about those things because you've conquered them,
Well, awesome. So look, this is what I call one of my tougher questions. But if you had $100 to spend to be a successful entrepreneur, how would you invest this money? And really, this $100 represents time. Okay. So there's 4 areas. 1 area is leadership. 2 is hustle. 3 is education. And 4 is networking. So how would you spend that money / time?
Okay.
And really, I just want to get your advice to, our Memphis go-getters who are out there trying to get started in their business or just at different levels in their business. How would you, for those who are just getting started, what would you recommend them to do?
If you are just getting started and you have $100 to spend on your business, oh, that's tough. That is really tough.
Focus on that leadership, hustling, education, or networking.
I'm leaning towards education. I'm leaning towards like taking, classes or something, like take like some online courses that may also include mentorship, because that's what helped me.
Okay.
I think I would lean towards that. There's a lot of great entrepreneurs out there that give courses on, how to speak and get paid for it, or how to automate certain parts of your business. There are a lot of people that give very industry specific information, and they have intensives, mastermind classes, and stuff like that all the time.
So how much you putting on education?
Oh, so we can split it.
Yeah, you can split it up.
Oh, that makes it easier. How much is that? I would probably put half on that. I would probably,
$50 in education.
And, we talked about delegating responsibilities earlier. I would go ahead and find a virtual assistant, to take care of some, emails and different things like that. See, now it really all depends on how much those people charge too. So goodness, I guess, would that be considered like the hustle part, or?
I guess leadership, so you're saying you would focus, and like I said before, the $100 really represents time. So you would tell them to spend 50% of their time educating themselves, and then maybe another 50% of their time, I guess, building their leadership abilities by outsourcing to different areas.
That is kind of leadership, because you have to tell those people how to help you.
Right.
And how to do it the way that you do it. Because, you have a company culture.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that's how you would break it down.
I guess so. I guess that's how I would do it.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. So look, as I always end the podcast show, I got to ask this question.
Okay.
So what does Memphis success mean to you?
Memphis success, it means being the best you can be. Wherever you are. I know, whether you're here in Memphis or whether you are, from Memphis and you live somewhere else, but just Memphis success means, you're doing the best you can, and then you're also doing something to help be a part of legacy building here. And, whether you're gone or whether you're here, in my particular way, I'm trying to make people look the best they can.
Right.
And I feel like that's my tool, and I feel like it's a revolutionary tool.
Okay.
And that's how it's how I make my money, but it's also how I give, because I'm always going to give over 100%. I'm going to overdo it on purpose. Right. And I really have a heart, again, for the hidden gems here in Memphis.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you, Ms. Mwangi. Now, look, please share any last words of advice and tell us how the Memphis Go-Getters can learn more about you and your business.
My advice to you is don't give up. Do not compare yourself to others. Be satisfied every day with the amount of work that you're able to get done with your set of circumstances. And be around like-minded people, and also people who are just a little further ahead than you, so you can learn something. So those are my final words of advice. And always keep your skills sharp. Never stop learning. You're going to learn more outside of school than you learn in school, because that's just the way it is. So that's my advice. But you can find me at my business website, www.cheerscreative.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Cheers Creative, one word. And then my personal blog is at DanaJamesMwangi.com, and I'm on Twitter at DanaJamesMwangi.
Awesome. Memphis Go-Getters, once again, this was an amazing interview with Ms. Mwangi of Cheers Creative. I'm so glad that she was on the show. Once again, visit MemphisSuccess.com, search for Cheers Creative, and you will get the show notes to this show. Also, sign up, become a Memphis Go-Getter. Stay updated with the latest shows and blog posts that we post on MemphisSuccess.com. And as always, Memphis Go-Getters, remember, dream big, take action, and make money.
Thank you for listening to Memphis Success, the voice of Memphis entrepreneurs. Sign up now at memphissuccess.com to become a Memphis go-getter and receive all the latest information and free gifts. Because your success is Memphis Success.